Hey, welcome to Dog Talks with your host, the Dog Father. This new and exciting channel. I'm very enthused to bring this channel out to you. We will be talking about dogs, but in many different dimensions, from training, from behavior, even some esoteric, wellness, nutrition, historical, products and services, what goes on in communities across the U.S. and across other countries as well. We will also be doing this video in English and then in Spanish. So we want to reach the most people we can. Connect with your dog. You'll hear me say that often. So, and I'll be honest with you, can't say that enough. So you'll hear me say it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. The reason why is that there's probably no other most important thing that you can do with your dog than that. Connect with your dog. If you're connected with your dog, it becomes the basis of the relationship. The quality of life between your dog is when it really flourishes. If you're not connecting with your dog, you're missing out on a lot. And hopefully the tips here that we'll present are going to help you to connect with your dog, and also any questions that you might have, leave those in the comments. I'd be happy to answer those questions. Any comments I can, any suggestions, we can also bring those in. But the main idea is that it's geared everything around for you to connect with your dog. Have you ever seen those people who walk down the street or at parks and their dog's not even on a leash? I know. There are laws against that in some counties, municipalities. I get it, but that's a different story. Let's talk about the fact that they can walk with their dogs without a leash. Let's also talk about the fact that they take their dogs out to many different places where other people cannot. Why? Because when you have a well-trained dog, when you're connected with your dog, the door is magically open. So the idea is not only just to train your dog on a leash and just receive commands. The idea is to build a relationship. Enjoy that relationship. Let's talk a bit about training philosophies. It's very important. I look at the training world with two major schools of thought. One school of thought believes in the dominance theory. The dominance theory is this idea that, for example, you have the alpha male and the dog wants to dominate. Everybody wants to dominate you, wants to dominate your household. Just dominate, dominate, dominate. And everything you do, you always try to make your dog submissive. You always want to show him who's boss. That's the idea of the dominance theory. The other one is the no dominance theory. Has a different historical birth or different historical perspective. It's more about cognition, more about relationship building. Very different. Whereas the dominance theory comes from Darwin in this theory of evolution, where the strongest survive or the fittest. And all animal behavior is explained through survival, through evolution, where 95% or so of the behavior is actually explained through instinct. And if this was true, then why train? If this were true, why is there behavior modification? Because if your dog couldn't even be traumatized because of instinct. So I have my skepticism on this idea that all animal is pure instinct. I'll take it a step further. I believe that instinct is just it's a catch-all. It's a cop-out. When you can't explain something, you just say, oh, it's instinct. Hey, not his fault, not my fault. Instinct. But we're avoiding responsibility that maybe I should be training my dog. Maybe I should give my dog more time. That my dog did something, not because it was, bit someone, not because there was instinct involved, but it was because my dog was not trained, educated properly, exposed, desensitized to given situations, was not socialized. So there's a lot of things that we can do if we put aside this idea that it's about instinct. It is really about responsibility. And that's the other side of dog training, is that we don't take instinct as an excuse. We work and we have as a premise that the dog has feelings, has a thought process, can learn, and based on that, we train. And only when you have that can you really have a relationship with your dog. Some of the things to look out for when you know there's a dominance trainer, look out for choke collars and electric shock collars, the other spike collars, or prong collars rather. So my advice is stick with the non-aggressive dog trainers, those who believe more in building relationship. And don't forget, connect with your dog.